Hi, my name's Megan Moore, and I graduated from the class of 2018 at NYUAD. It's been 3 years, which is pretty crazy. Um, and I took Intro to CS the spring of my freshman year, and it was a really fun class. I hadn't done much coding beforehand. Some kids in the class had done more coding, but kind of the whole point of Intro to CS is to make sure everyone is started with the essentials and has a good base to start from as they go on their comp sci journey. So I'll talk a little bit about where I went in a bit, but some quick tips for Intro to CS as you get going. The first one is use clear variable names because I think, the person you are in a week is not going to remember all your thoughts in the moment when you're coding. So always think about kind of explaining to someone else what your code means and making it clear what the purpose of each thing you're using is doing. So clear variable names, adding comments as you think about things and explain things through your code. Also debugging with print statements if you're ever confused what a function is doing, or if you're producing the right information, print it out. I was working on something last week. It was some new code I'd never worked with before, so I just started putting print statements in because it's always a good way to ground you in how the code is working and kind of get you back to reorient yourself in code. So never forget about print statements. What else? Yeah, I think those are the things to start with Intro to CS tips, but obviously the logic, the for loops and if else statements and things, those never go away. Those are super useful. And any kind of code you're going to be working on, that's going to be really important. The next thing is, I think with Intro to CS, since everyone's coming from a different point, it's important to ask questions when you're confused. There's no harm in that. I asked a lot of questions. I also wish I had asked more questions. I would have gotten up to speed quicker if I had. And that's what Intro to CS is for. Yasser is super approachable if you want to go to office hours. But also there's all sorts of resources from the Unix lab. I don't know if these are during the summer, if they're available during the summer, but the Unix lab is super useful. And I was a part of WeSTEM, and they would have homework help and things. So definitely reach out and try and create a community or find a community that already exists, because I think that's what helped me develop my skills and help me through the things that were difficult. So yeah, make sure you reach out if you're ever confused. Because even though people say coding is kind of a one-man job, I think collaborating and brainstorming with others has been one of the most important and valuable things to me with coding. But to each their own, maybe you'll take a different approach. So for my path that I've taken since taking Intro to CS, I graduated with a CS degree and a natural science concentration. I studied computer security for my capstone, which was an interesting way to explore censorship and firewall usage around the world, because that's what I was curious about. And then I was a software engineer at a health research company called the Institute for Health Metrics and Evaluation. It's a mouthful. But that was super cool because I got to use Python and work with huge data sets to do health research and work with public health and global health researchers, which wasn't necessarily something I thought or knew was possible when I was going into computer science. And then now I work as a consultant at a consulting company in Sweden, and I work with a forestry company right now, using their data to help make more sustainable decisions, and that's been super cool also. So I think one of my biggest takeaways and my approaches to CS was that unlike a lot of other paths, CS gives you a super useful tool set that you can apply to almost any question you're interested in. And so if you're interested in game design, you can do game design. If you're interested in health, you can do health. If you're interested in politics, you can explore politics. So kind of everything is open to you, and you're more skilled up to be able to confront those questions with coding. And so, kind of always be looking for how you can apply coding, because there's infinite possibilities that you can do once you have those skills. So good luck with the class, and reach out if you ever have any questions. Thanks, bye.